Melissa, how are you?
Yeah. I put lipstick on. I just threw it on in like the 2 minutes before I sat down here to record. And now I'm looking at myself in my camera and it's crooked.
Ah, man.
I can't stop thinking about it now.
If it helps, I don't notice that it's crooked. Uh, so maybe that helps. It looks nice.
What?
As far as I can tell, it looks nice.
The color's nice. The application isn't. Nyx does their job correctly, but I don't do mine.
Ah, man. Oh well. Oh well. Besides your lipstick mayhem, how have you been?
I'm okay. I took 2 vacation days, which is extremely rare for me.
There you go. Yeah. How's so your vacation days have been Thursday and Friday, is that correct?
Yeah.
There you go. What all did you do on vacation?
Yesterday, I just went to the dentist and then I did laundry at my parents' house. And then today, I went out to the art museum with a friend. We had a nice art museum day.
That's cool. That's fun. Good stuff. Good stuff. I mean, that's kind of what I did on my vacation. I didn't go to the dentist, but I had to do laundry while I was out there. We went to an art museum thing. So, yeah, sounds about right.
You traveled across several different time zones.
Just one.
Okay. That's true.
Yeah.
It feels so far. Like the Oklahoma is the West pretty much. And you're from Virginia. Those are whole separate genres of America.
You're right. It's a different genre, but I still feel like Oklahoma could either be in the Midwest or Southwest. Depending, because like it's so close, like it's right there to Texas, which I feel is like Southwest. But then it is so much like middle of the country. Mm-hmm. Here is the Midwest right there, which I always thought was strange that like we don't call it like the center
middle
of America. Yeah, like why is that Midwest?
I think because it's when you're just starting to get cowboys.
But what happened to the? Well, I guess there is a Middle East, but it's in the wrong country. Then, right? Like we don't have a mid East in the United States.
I feel like instead of it being vertically laid out, like how Midwest is like, moving from left to right. I feel like Mideast would be moving from like top to bottom. Like right? You're in the Mideast because you're not in the top or in the south of the East. You're in the middle of it.
Sam is in the chat. What's up, Sam?
Hi, Sam.
And Sam says Oklahoma is just landlocked Florida. Sean, which is her. So.
Oklahoma feels like cowboy country. You don't like Jesse James, perhaps the most famous cowboy, is from Missouri, but he's from like Springfield, Missouri, which is several hours away from here. I don't feel like I live in the cowboy part of the state. Missouri is a partially cowboy state. Feel like once you get to Kansas, I don't know, but like Oklahoma and Texas, full cowboy states.
Interesting. Okay, because like because my family is from Montana and Wyoming,
cowboy country.
Exactly. So when I say the West, like that is what I think of.
Yeah.
Whereas I think a lot of people immediately go to like, oh, California, and I'm just like, no, that's like West Coast.
Is West.
It is West. You're right.
That's surfer country. It's not cowboy country. Yeah. And when I say cowboy country, I'm not necessarily speaking about where historically cowboys have roamed. I'm talking about places where people wear cowboy boots normally. And that's not where I am.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah.
Cowboy
yeah,
hat country, cowboy boot country, belt buckle country. Belt
America's
buckle
just
country. That's
weird.
where it is. I don't live in belt buckle country.
America's just weird. We're all like messed up and discombobulated, and there's no Mid-East.
I
far
didn't
gone
draw
now
the
for
map. I
Mid-East.
just like that my state's got like a little nub on the bottom.
They were like, who could we put in the Mid-East? And they were sitting there like, West Virginia. They're like, no, it has West in the name. It can't be in the Mid-East if it has West in the name.
It's all relative. You pick yourself up, you put yourself in a different part of the country. You got to reorient your compass, buddy. Compass lives inside your heart, and your heart feels different everywhere you go.
Yeah. Wise words from Melissa Wilkinson, ladies and gentlemen, which is what you get each and every week here on the Captain's Log. Welcome to our podcast. This is number 157. Hi. My name is Kyle Springer, and like I mentioned, that's Melissa. My week has been pretty good. I feel like this is one of those weeks that is just so uneventful that I don't really know what happened, but it was a good week.
Right.
Like
That's good.
So here's something that happened. Apparently, I've maybe accidentally been getting more than 40 hours at work the past couple weeks here on accident. So I've been working 9 to 5 to kind of make up for the time that I lost when I was out on vacation for that week. And I'm planning to take another week off down the road, and then I don't get paid for holidays and the 2 weeks off that they give me for Christmas, all because I'm part-time, technically. So I've been making up all of that work. I've been working more to kind of make sure that I have money for those times. But our system that we use to clock in is it rounds up or down to the nearest 15-minute mark, the nearest quarter of an hour. So I've been waking up at 8:45 and rolling out of bed and trying to clock in at 9, not realizing that I'm probably clocking in at 8:50, 8:52, which then rounds down to 8:45. So I get an extra 15 minutes, and they're paying me for those extra 15s, and they add just a small bit to my total time. So I've been getting that 40 hours plus an hour and a quarter extra.
You've been office spacing yourself then.
Kind of. And I didn't realize it. Or at least that I was going above 40 hours. Because one of my supervisors is about to go on maternity leave, and so the job of approving my hours is now in someone else's hand to just be like, hey, well, I'm gone, you're gonna need to look at these, so why don't you start on those now? And they looked and they were like, hey, last week he did 41 and a quarter, and it looks like he's on track to do that again. He's not allowed to get over 40 hours.
Track. They're monitoring you like a comet.
They really are. But yeah, I've probably done that a couple weeks in a row now. And yeah, I'm not allowed to get over 40 hours because I guess because I'm part-time, I'm not allowed to get overtime. So they were just like, okay, well, we don't really know what to do with this right now, so no more of that. And I was like, okay, I'm going to take off an hour early today and then come in at my normal time on Friday. So I'm going to sleep in and see you. I had the thing I'm on the phone with them, but I'm not on the phone with them. I'm instant messaging them.
You have your hand in the phone shape, but it's not vertical. You are holding it horizontally. So it's like you're telling somebody to have a surf's up cool time, like surf's up, bro. But But you're
Surf's
having
up, bro.
intense
I'm
phone
taking off work early,
conversation.
bro.
Like your hand was in the wrong
Sleeping in,
spot.
dude. Cowabunga.
This is why people gotta watch the video feed. Is my lipstick crooked? Yeah, but you gotta see. You get to see Kyle do stuff like that.
I was thinking more of like yelling into the phone, like I'm taking off work an hour early because of you guys, and then slam the phone down. I'm hanging up. But no, that was like the excitement that happened this week. So not much going on in my world, but
I have a question for you, and I am certain that the answer is no, but I feel the need to ask anyway. Do you like Boba?
He's a great character. I really like Star Wars. I know that's not what you're talking about.
I'm more of a Django guy.
Yeah, I'm more of a Django guy, but you know.
I went out to the art museum with my friend today, and then afterwards we wanted to like get out and do something, but neither of us were hungry enough. So she's like, "Let's just go get a boba tea," and I had it, and it was good. And I'm like, "I bet Kyle doesn't like this."
No,
so I thought
not
I'd
at
check.
all.
Right.
It's just it's like a weird texture thing for me. Like I can this is a terrible comparison, but like it seems like I'm like slurping up like soggy gummy bears, and I don't like that thought.
No, that's apt. That's kind of what it is.
But then like the closest thing in comparison that I feel like I can do that is like a mixed texture like that is like a cookies and cream shake, where like it is mainly liquid, but yeah, you have those like cookie chunks in there, and sometimes they get a little bit soggy and stuff like that. But like that is the one that I can do. But no, Boba just it weirds me out.
I don't drink it.
No offense to people who like it, but not for me.
I rarely drink it. Like when I had it, I'm like, I'm certain I've had this before at some point, but I like don't remember it specifically. I probably tried it once in like high school. But I'm chewing on them today. I thoroughly enjoyed them. We put our order in for our drinks, mobile order, and then it took us a while to get to the place. So by the time we get our drinks, they're like cool. They're not cold anymore.
Yeah.
But inside those boba, the core of them was still cold. They retain a temperature. Yeah. That's impressive. How like they've got
there you go.
A real chewy. Oh, they're real chewy. It's like deeper than gummy candy. Like there's a substance there.
Yeah,
I liked it. It made me feel like I had a beverage, but also an activity.
Is this something you now envision yourself diving more into? But like, you know what? I'm gonna start getting boba every now and then. Like maybe once a month.
I can do it.
Yeah?
Yeah. I don't know if there's any real conveniently placed. There's one between me and Chesterfield. I can just hit that up every time I go drive around Chesterfield. I don't know where the others are. I'd really have to hunt. There's not like one just there on the corner like a 7-Eleven.
We have a Chesterfield here near Richmond.
I'm not going there.
You saying that is like, oh, yeah, that's just like down the street. It's over that way. But no.
This is where that movie theater is I'm always going to.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, there used to be this boba place that I went to a couple times with some friends. I think they had some kind of like smoothie thing that I got instead. But it was this small like hole in the wall mom and pop place. I think it was owned by one guy whose wife had passed away years before, but I think had lived in Richmond his whole life. And he owned this shop and would like, when it was slow, would like come out and sit with you and like talk with you and stuff like that. And apparently this guy was kind of wild, because when I had gone in there, it was with a few of the people that I danced with, but these were like the B-boys that were like getting into trouble and like all sorts of stuff. So when they were sharing stories about things that they had done, and he like he hears them and starts to like sit down with them and talk. He started sharing stories of like, yeah, this one time I was running from the cops for this one thing, and then we're all just like, whoa, okay, old guy, you're wonderful. This is amazing. Tell us more. But that was it. That's like all I know about Boba. That is like the extent of Boba knowledge. There's this one guy in Richmond.
You might run into an old hooligan.
Yeah,
an elder hooligan. Yeah.
The elder hooligan. What kind of old person do you want to be?
Oh man. I feel like I've been a grandma since I was like 8 years old, so I don't know if I'll be much different.
I feel like being a senior citizen, though, kind of allows you more freedoms to just not care, right? And
right.
just do stuff, and people just like, they're old, or they're like, oh, that's adorable, they're old, look at them, that's great. So I feel like we have the opportunity to like not necessarily be someone else, but just like get away with stuff that you probably normally wouldn't.
Sure.
And that can kind of make you a different person, so to speak.
Right. I could wear all the jewelry I own at once and eat ice cream every day if I was old.
Yeah. Yeah, you could be like the regular at the ice cream shop that just every day at 2 p.m. Melissa, like, I don't know. You want to be there at like midnight or something? I don't know.
I don't know. Young me considers ice cream an evening food, but I don't know how I'll feel when I'm old. My grandma's nursing home had an ice cream parlor in it.
Ooh.
Like they had a dedicated parlor room. It was decorated like an old-time ice cream parlor.
Meet me in the parlor.
And they had big freezers there full of big tubs ice cream. And yeah, every Sunday or whatever was Sunday day. You'd pay, you'd wheel up there and you'd pay $1 and the nuns would make you ice cream.
Interesting stuff. I feel like I would want to be like a little bit more mischievous than I am, because I'm a very quiet person. I don't really talk to people all that much. I mind my own business, but I just think it'd be fun to just like make fun of people a little bit more, just like say some snarky things, or like be the guy that like rolls up the paper wrapper from his straw and just throws it at someone, and then when they look, just be like, it was them,
Oh man, that would be adorable if an old man did it.
Right? Yeah, it'd be great.
And then you'll have your cybernetic arm by then, so you could throw it really far.
Really hard, too. It hit them, and they'd be like, ow, what the hell, old man? I'd be like, it wasn't me, it was that guy back there. I don't know.
Yeah,
man.
point at the man with his 2 remaining human arms.
Yeah. Like, I don't know how we did it. Steroids or something. I don't know. But yeah, I think I would want to be a little bit more mischievous. that would be
fun.
The kind of old person I would want to be. I don't know. It's so. I mean, I feel old now sometimes. With just like with just my back starting to hurt, or my wrist, like it's gonna rain today. My wrist is hurting, blah blah blah. But I know that I'm not that old.
Yeah.
I still have a ways to go, but I don't know. No. Sam says, I'm playing The Sims with this in the background and trying to figure out why my vampires throw up when eating plasma fruit salad. which is specifically a
Ooh.
vampire food. Ooh, that is a conundrum.
Oh my god, I'm so happy like you've hacked Sims enough that I imagine you can get vampires, but I don't imagine Sims HQ programmed vampire specific fruit salads.
Can you
filled with
poison
only
the
blood
food somehow?
oranges?
Can you poison the food, or can the food go bad? Like, can the blood spoil? Oh, they did. I don't know.
It's not their type. Not their type.
Weird. I haven't played The Sims in so long. It's been forever, but they have such a strong community for that with tons of mods and expansion packs and stuff like that. I have no idea if they plan on making a Sims 5. I'm sure they do, but I feel like Sims 4 is still just going strong. They don't really need to make one yet. It's like Mario Kart 8. That game has been around forever, and it still sells incredibly well. And it's just like, when are they gonna make a new one? But it's so good that they don't have that.
What if did Sam have something to say? You looked at the screen where Sam goes.
Yeah, she did mention that they have announced a 5th game. So apparently Sims 5 is coming one day.
What if movies had expansion packs the way a game does? Like what if you went to the theater? Like you went to the theater and you saw Endgame, and you see all the people come out of the portals at the end of Endgame. And then like 6 months later, you can download an expansion pack where more people come out of the portal.
Wouldn't that just be the Feige cut? Isn't this just the director's cut phenomenon? Like, hey, we're gonna put some deleted scenes back in, or we're gonna swap this out for an alternate scene, or rearrange.
But that's the thing. That's the thing. An expansion pack is by definition always more. A director's cut may be alternates, and it may be less. Some director's cuts come in at they're edited differently, and they may come in a couple of minutes shorter than the original theatrical version. I'm talking about just more.
But that's also what the Snyder cut did. Like they shot
this
new
is true
stuff for the Snyder cut.
I feel like that's our only movie expansion pack.
I'm sure there's more examples of that are just like smaller. Well, Star Wars kind of they've put in new things to that, new sound effects, new set where this person shot first instead of like that. It's not the same extent, but it's just like
no. You said this person shot first instead of Han, indicating that you've neglected to say Greedo's name, or that there's many options besides Greedo. Like they're gonna keep making new versions where like additional people who weren't in the scene before come in and shoot before either of them.
They have changed that scene so many McClunky damn times. And
I'm a big McClunky person. I enjoy McClunky a lot. I have no emotional connection to Star Wars. I just like I'll take all of the weird ephemera. I love McClunky. I love the holiday special. I love that ice cream machine.
The blue milk. All that stuff there. We'll get back to Star Wars in a sec, but Melissa, I know you had a vacation related question. So I wanted to circle back around to that. Before we get into Star. So you said you had your thing of I'm on vacation. How do vacation?
Yeah, I've got days to burn up this year. I don't know what to do on them. How do you do this a lot? You frequently will just take a day off, and I never take a day off. Last year, I think I took a singular day off.
I like taking the days off because I hate working. I don't like it. It's dumb. It's so stupid. I hate it. The fact that I have to do this stupid task to get paid so that I can survive and eat. No, I don't want that. That's stupid. Just let me survive and eat anyways. But yeah, so I'm also big on like, hey, if you're not feeling well, if you're sick, it's better to nip that in the bud and like rest up and actually get better than be like, I can still make it. I'll push through. It's not bad right now, and then you end up actually sick, and then you're out for like a whole week. Which I have seen that happen to people and stuff like that, and it's just like, this is not good. And I rarely get sick, but I've felt like, yeah, just by, hey, I'm starting to not feel great. Like, what if I just be like, hey guys, I'm not gonna. Hey guys, I'm not
Hey, all of my fellow surfers, hope you're hanging loose out there.
Yeah, I'm gonna go surf instead. No, I just feel like if I don't have to stress out or deal with responsibility or stuff like that, or can just do something that I actually enjoy, then like that'll put me in a better mood where I can then rest and get better and stuff like that. So yeah, that's my philosophy on that stuff. Yeah. How do you vacation?
I only take days off when I have like a very specific big thing to do. Like if I have like an actual trip planned, or like I took a day off to go see Endgame. I'm going to take a day off to go see No Time to Die. I'll do that for like big event movies that I'm excited for, you know, where it's like, oh, I'll get tickets during the day. It'll be easier to get tickets then. Or I think like once I took a day off because it was around Christmas time and I just had a lot of like errands I needed to do. It's like, I have to go shopping. It's time for me to get my oil changed. I have to bake all these cookies for the family party. And once I was in a wedding. I never take days off just for the heck of it, because if I'm not there to work, somebody else has to do my work for me. And I don't think that's worth me just sleeping in and like lying around reading all day.
It I think also kind of depends on the stress level of your job, right? Because if things are super stressful, that layers on you. Or just to have to do, I mean, burnout is a real thing. Like, people get tired of the stuff that they do, and they're just like, this is the same thing I do every goddamn day. I stuff here with the Whatnauts. I have been like, man, I am tired. There's been days where I'm just like, I don't feel like it. I don't want to be on this show or be on that show or do them back to back. Where I have one on Friday and then one on Saturday and then one on Sunday, and then you know, it's a lot of work. And so yeah, I think stress can sometimes force you to just be like, hey, I need to take a day off. But like you said, there's some people can feel guilty of like, well, if I take a day off, then Janine back there has to you know, do all this extra stuff. Which is true, but then that's where kind of the team building comes in. Whereas, like, hey, if you need that day, take that day. Janine can get your baby back, or whoever. I'm just making up a name.
Janine's a good one. I was expecting you were going to go for like the standard Joe, and I'm very excited. It was the more unique Janine.
You know, I try. To get like different names and stuff. I try sometimes, but then when Janine needs to be like, hey guys, I've just had a terrible week. I need to take a day off or something. That's where you can get their back. So it is this give and take, right? So that makes me not feel guilty when I take days off, of just to know that when other people take days off, I will then have to do all this extra work because I'm helping them out with that. And so it's just like, all right, yeah, I'll scratch your back if you scratch mine.
It's probably how I should be looking at it. Earlier this month I googled how many vacation days are you supposed to take. I don't. Our work is very generous in giving us days. I just never use them. And I'm like, what's like the recommended amount of days to take? And it wasn't recommended by like a doctor or a real expert, but it was just a poll
Kinda
like
depends.
Business Insider or somebody did. There was like, okay, American workers, how many vacation days do you take off? And that feels like the right amount of days. And it came in at 13, which boggled me. I can't imagine taking 13 days off in a year.
Well, that could either be like a legitimate vacation where you take 5 of them off, right, for a whole week long thing, and then a couple extra throughout the year to be like, yeah, you know what, James Bond, I love James Bond. I'm gonna take the day off when the new movie comes out. That's gonna be like a small mini vacation for me. Or if you just don't want to use your sick days or something, be like, you know what, I'm taking a vacation from work. I mean, that's not much. Or if you don't do, if you're not like a big vacation person, that's once a once a month. Just be like, you know what? I think I'm gonna not come in on Monday.
Oh, no. If I don't come in on Monday, the week is wrecked, Kyle.
I back of my mind, I think that also speaks to like the quality of someone's team. Like if you're out for a single day and that causes chaos and no one can like keep up or do all the stuff, then it's like, man, you guys might need some more help. Like you guys might need one more
I
person in there or
I could take a
something.
day off. The day just couldn't be Monday. Mondays are too
That's
big.
fair.
I work,
That's fair.
you know me, I work long Mondays.
You do, yes.
We got a new trailer for Eternals that dropped early Thursday morning. Weirdly early. Like I think I woke up at like 6 a.m. and like got up and went to the bathroom and crawled back into bed, and it was like, I'm awake enough that I'm gonna watch a YouTube video or something before I go back to sleep. And I went to my subscription
New
list and it's
Rockstar's
like
reaction
new
to-
trailer.
Yeah.
No, not that, but a trailer. And I'm like, what's a trailer doing out this early on a Thursday? You've established Monday as the trailer day, which is stressful for me because it's the day when I work the longest. And it's like, I have to get home and record a reaction about this. But if they keep doing Thursdays, that's much easier on me. So I hope this is a sign of changes to come, because the threat of, or the promise of, eventually we're going to get a No Way Home trailer hangs over me. I'm excited for it, but also I'm like, day that comes out, I'm going to have to cut my Monday short. I'm going to have to figure that out.
Because news cycles typically try and do like bad news at the end of the week in hopes that the weekend, when people are off of work and then doing fun things, they'll just forget or move on. Whereas good things are usually on Mondays, which is a strange thing to think about. But yeah, it was a weird time for them to put that one out. But I guess that how do vacation, like what is the things that you like? I To me, vacation is a time to just like not focus on any responsibility, do stuff that you enjoy, whether that be sleeping in or just binge watching a show or going shopping or doing so. Like, to me, that's how you vacation, is just do something you enjoy, do something that relaxes you. You don't necessarily need to be productive, because sometimes being unproductive is productive for your actual like physical and mental health.
People tell me this and I can't handle it.
I don't know.
I can't relax until my work is done.
Who knows? But yeah, speaking of trailers and stuff, did you by chance catch the Star Wars Visions trailer?
Oh, I saw that was out, but I think it came out like while I was at the office and I forgot to watch it when I got home. It's basically Animatrix but Star Wars, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Where I think it's 7 of them that they're doing. I don't remember how many they said, but yeah, they each have their own story, and it's all done by different studios. They each do their one-shot story. Yeah, it looks incredible. I'm super excited, especially because the Star Wars movies especially focus so much on the Skywalker family and story and their whole thing, and even a lot of the cartoons focus on the like outside of that like the after effects of that story, or the stuff of like how it all came to be and stuff like that. So I'm excited to see these other stories that hopefully have nothing to do with that don't mention the Skywalkers, or are set like millions of years in the future or in the past or stuff like that, where we can just explore these different corners. I'm stoked. I'm stoked with that, but it looked good. I liked it. I think there was one, I don't remember, Sam, you might know, who was God, now I'm blanking on the name of it too. What was the anime that we watched, Sam, that you joined us on? Promare. I think the studio that did that is making one of these short. I think. I could be wrong, but the art style looked like, oh, that reminds me of that one show that we watched.
Nice.
So yeah, it might be them, whoever they are. Studio Trigger. Yeah, Studio Trigger. It might be them. Yeah. But yeah, it looked wonderful. I'm excited about that. And then you mentioned Eternals and stuff like that. We got a bunch of Marvel news this week. There was a ton of it. So we got the final Eternals trailer for when that comes out. That's also, I'm excited about that because I know nothing about these characters.
Yeah.
We
haven't heard of them before, and we haven't heard anything about them continuing. We have no sense of what the Eternals are going to do after the Eternals movie. We don't know in what way they may be sticking around through the rest of the MCU.
Right. Yeah.
And how open-ended that is exciting.
But like the whole like Marvel cosmic side of things, I know nothing about. I don't know who the characters are. I don't know their stories, like all of that stuff. So it's cool for me to be like, I love Marvel stuff, but here's something that feels entirely brand new.
Yeah.
I just like, I don't know. Like they announced, Civil War and all that stuff, and I'd be like, oh, I've read that. I kind of know what they might be doing with that then, or what that will look like. And this, I'm just like, I have no idea. This is wild. So that looks good there with that. Then we got the news that Ironheart will be debuting in Wakanda Forever before her own solo show. We knew that she was getting a solo show, but we did not know that she would be debuting in the next. I think that is Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited about that. I'm wondering if she's gonna be like winning some like Wakandan scholarship, and that's how she gets introduced to like, that kind of tech and stuff like that, and is then just like, I'm gonna build my own, and then builds her own, and they're all just like, holy shit, how did you make that?
I like the idea that she would get September Foundation money from Tony Stark, and also that she's just raking it in every
Sure.
scholarship.
Yeah. Exactly. So that's exciting. And then we had the premiere of Shang-Chi this
Mm-hmm.
past week. And I haven't like officially heard much yet. I've not like read reviews or stuff like that if they're out. But general impressions seem to be very good with this, which that's still kind of vague and enough to be like I don't really know exactly what that means, but it seems positive.
Mm.
Good. So I'm excited for that one. Melissa, do you already have tickets for Shang-Chi?
Not yet. I know. I think they just went on sale. I haven't gotten tickets yet. That is in 2 weeks. I may get on
They
that
did.
soon.
I don't know how I feel about going to a theater yet. Especially with this new Delta variant starting to go on the rise. The university that I work at has now started to be like, okay, now you guys need to start wearing your masks again when you're indoors and on campus and stuff like that. And you also need to do XYZ and all this stuff. So they're starting to like slowly walk back all of the like, okay, we're loosening restrictions. Okay, now we're tightening them.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, good sign that they're tightening them, not a good sign that we're having to tighten them and stuff like that. So, I don't know, but I'm debating. I mean, I can go. I've been vaccinated.
Mm-hmm.
I have my mask. I'm fine wearing that. I'm probably going to just suck it up and go, but I don't know. I'm still very uncomfortable going to something like that. I know that I was just on a plane and had to deal with all of that, but still, it's like, I don't know. I don't really want to do this that often.
I don't
So
know
we'll
what I
see.
can
We'll
do
see
to
with that.
make movies feel better for people, except to
Not
just
much you
never
can
go to
do.
them myself so that there's more space for other people to go instead.
I mean, yeah, like lead by example, right?
Well, no, I want the I want everybody to feel good, not feel scared to like not be there. I want to make a theater a welcoming, happy space for everybody.
Well, sure. I mean, that is a good thing to aspire to. I think right now it's just it is a health risk. Like it is a thing of like, hey, it's not about like a happy fun place. It's like, hey, you might get deathly sick if the wrong person is in that theater. Um,
I just want people to stop being scared all the time. And I know the only way to do that is to get rid of the thing that makes them feel scared. And I don't know how to do that.
wear masks, stay inside. I don't know. Be safe. Wash your hands. Wash your butt. Stuff like that. I don't know.
Do you think it's a bad idea if I went to the theater to see it? Because you asked me, like, have you got your tickets yet? I don't think I'm going to get my tickets. So now I don't know what you want me to react with.
No, I mean, you can make your own decisions. Like I said, I probably will end up going because I don't want to miss out on this. But yeah, just like in the long run, I don't want to make this like, well, I feel totally fine going to the movies. I'm going to be there every Wednesday. Um, it- yeah, so I don't know. We'll see. I'm still baffled why they haven't been like, all right, we'll release this on Disney Plus. Um, but who knows? Beyond Shang-Chi, though, we also got word that Anthony Mackie has officially signed on to be in Captain America 4. We knew that Captain America 4 was coming. We know that the writer is the same writer of the Falcon and Winter Soldier Disney Plus show. Well, we knew that they were hoping to get him back. They were planning on it.
Yeah.
But it is now official that he has signed the contract to be in that. And last but not least, something that I saw today is that they found a lead writer for Armor Wars, the Disney Plus show starring Don Cheadle as a war machine. The writer's name is Yasir Lester, who is a comedian and has some writing chops on Adult Swim's Black Dynamite cartoon.
Oh.
He's also been an actor in Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Okay.
I've never seen that show, so I don't know if he's just like a cameo or a bit part or something bigger than that. But yeah, they announced that they found a lead writer. So
That's
lots of
good.
Marvel stuff happening.
Yeah, I've heard this name. I can't put any credits to the name. I just know that I have heard it. And I think the fact that it's got a comedian as a head writer is promising for the tone of the show. Well, Don Cheadle's very funny. I'm happy to see that he may get to show that side of the character in this.
I would be interested in seeing that as a comedy, but that's not what I expect. And I think
it will be a comedy.
Well, I mean, you never know. But it sounded like it sounded like this was a departure from like what he's used to, or like what he's known for.
Yeah.
And that he just had a really good pitch that they were like, yes, that sounds amazing. So who knows?
Yeah. Maybe one of Tony's old suits gets lost, and it is a comedic romp for Rhodey to try and get it back. Pies are thrown in faces. We truly don't know what will happen. I think the MCU has yet to have had a pie thrown in a face.
Who knows? Sticking in the movie realm real quick, I'm gonna do a short Kyle's Cinema Corner, aka the Cinema is my bed. I watched Matrix Reloaded this past week. That's the second one. I watched that with my girlfriend. We watched the first one last year. Never really immediately jumped into the next one, but we were just like, you know what? Why not? Let's watch the sequel to that. Still good. Very, very good movie. There's still definitely some weird choices in that film. You have just like why that dance scene was so long.
I thought you were going to complain about the existence of a dance scene at all. One of my favorite things is when a movie just abruptly has a dance scene in it when you wouldn't expect one to be there.
I like the dance scene, but it is just like awkwardly long. Of like why are we still watching this dance scene? We could have moved on. But yeah,
I'm happy to hear you talk about this because all I remember, I've never seen The Matrix. I don't know. I don't really know what happens. I think he puts on sunglasses and he puts on a coat and he knows Kung Fu and he fights Hugo Weaving. And I think he's a battery man. Like everybody's a battery. Lawrence Fishburne is a battery. I think.
Yes,
there's a fight on a highway. Is this the one where they fight on a highway?
This is the fight on the highway.
Okay.
They built, I think, like 5 miles of highway just for this movie for them to do all of these stunts on. And
when the movie came out, I remember the general consensus was the highway scene is great. We hate the rest of it. So I'm glad to hear the existence of a dance scene because nobody's ever mentioned that to me before. And the fact that you say that it is on the whole pretty good.
Yeah, there's also a weird orgasm scene in that one, which is just really strange. Yeah. There's some it's a good sequel, I feel like. It's not necessarily better than the first movie, but it works well as a sequel. But I feel like the movies decline in quality as they go because the third one is notoriously just like this is not good. So we'll see what happens in this fourth one with that,
right?
Because they are making a fourth Matrix film, so who knows? And then I watched the 4 Evangelion movies this week. The fourth and final one finally came out this year
Oh.
after like a 12-year wait.
Right, because I think I remember the first 2 coming out. I did not know there were 4.
Yeah, there's 4 of them. I've seen the original show a few times. I love it. It's one of my favorites. It's a very difficult show to get into and to like recommend to people, but I enjoy it a lot because I'm a big fan of the mecha genre. Um, and I've never seen these movies before, and they're very different from the show. They go in a completely different direction with a lot of this stuff, and I was not expecting that. And they're very good, but it's one of those things that I'm gonna have to like watch 2 or 3 more times to like really figure out what happened, why it happened, what the hell they were talking about, and then go and find some like YouTube videos or stuff like analyzing it all, or some podcasts and stuff like that. But yeah, very good stuff. And last but not least, I started a show called Banana Fish. This is an anime based off of a manga that I've been wanting to read for a while, just
Mhm.
never really got around to it. And then I've been going through all of the shows on Prime that I've had in my list, and this
Yeah.
was one of them. So I was like, all right, fine, I'll just read or watch this. I started it. Very good so far. Moves very fast. It is a crime show. It is there. It starts out with this scene of this guy in what seems like the Iraq war or something similar. And he comes back and he's in this like trance like state, and ends up like shooting a whole bunch of his buddies, his fellow soldiers, and one guy ends up kind of taking him out and shoots him in the leg, but then he just starts mumbling the phrase banana fish. He's just like,
Huh.
what the fuck? Like, what is up with this? And then a few years down the road, the younger brother of that guy who went in that like comatose state, just mumbling banana fish. He is the leader of a bunch of like street gangs out in, I think, like New York or something. And there's this like random guy that ends up dying like right in front of him, and the last thing he says is banana fish. And again, he's just like, what the fuck? Like, I've heard my older brother mumbling that, and now you're saying that? Who the hell are you? What is this banana fish? I thought that was just gibberish. That he was just like banana fish, right? Um, and and so yeah, the crime show ends up uh, following this like string of murders and gangs and stuff like this to figure out what is banana fish. Is it a drug that has caused
Hmm.
my brother to be in this state? Is it a gang? Is it a code word? Or is it some person? Stuff like that. My main critique so far, only having watched like the first few of them, is that I feel like they should have been an hour long rather than half an
Oh.
hour. And not that I want like the first 2 to be combined into one, but I want each one to be expanded into its own thing. Like I think what they show in each thing is where the episodes should is where the episode should
Mhm.
I cannot speak, where it should finish. Um and but it just seems like they move very fast. So it's just like, you guys can slow down and breathe
Mhm.
and stuff like that. But yeah, that's the stuff that I've been watching this week. So
Nice.
good stuff all around with that.
The only movie I watched this week was Clifford. Do you know Clifford? Not the
Big Red
dog.
Dog? Oh,
No.
damn it.
This
no.
is a
I'm
movie.
fresh out of Clifford's now.
It was filmed in like the late 80s, and then the studio that made it like went bankrupt. It got shelved and didn't come out until like 1994. It's a movie where adult
interesting.
Martin Short plays a 10-year-old boy named Clifford. So he's wearing like a little boy suit. He's shot to be like way shorter than all the adults in the cast. And Clifford is just a nuisance.
Weird.
He's obsessed with going to this theme park in Los Angeles called Dinosaur World. And him and his parents are flying on a plane to get to some conference his dad is going to in Hawaii. And he hears that they're going to pass over Los Angeles, but not stop there. So he
So
like
he's
grabs the
trying
steering
to go
wheel.
to the Powerline concert, taking the map and changing it to Dino Land, right?
So he grabs the steering wheel away from the pilot. He just about crashes the plane. They land the plane, and his dad's like, "You're banned from the flight now. I have to get to Hawaii. What am I going to do?" So he calls his brother, who lives in Los Angeles, who like hasn't seen Clifford since he was a baby. He's like, "You're going to watch Clifford." So it's Clifford stuck with Uncle Charles Grodin for a week. And all Clifford wants to do is go to Dinosaur World, and he will stop at nothing.
Weird.
Yeah. I've heard about this movie a lot on podcasts. That's come up on Blank Check several times. It comes up on podcast The Ride a lot because in the final scene, when he does eventually get to Dinosaur World, you go through an entire ride. Like, they talked about how this movie is like a great depiction of a fictional theme park. Like, you don't see outside of that one ride, but they designed a whole ride that Clifford goes through several times. There's Imagineering at work within this movie about Martin Short being a 10-year-old boy who caused mischief.
Martin Short really being short. Wow, yeah.
Truly.
Interesting. I've never heard of that.
It's not well liked. It's pretty obscure. It was an abject failure.
Yeah. Seems
but
like
I watched it. I there were dated parts, but there were also parts where I had some genuine laughs. And it is a cool fake dinosaur ride that he goes on.
Interesting. Okay. Fair enough. Well, we are going to take a quick break for housekeeping. We will be right back, and when we get back, we have some questions like, what movie sets would you like to visit? Would you most like to visit? So we'll be right back.
Mm-hmm.
We put a lot of hard work into the shows that we make, and yes, we make multiple different shows here at the Whatnauts, and we'd love it if you would check them all out. You can find out more information on our website at thewhatnauts.com, as well as your favorite podcasting platform of choice. When you type in the Whatnauts, all of our shows will pop up right there. Just don't forget to give us a nice rating and review if you like the shows. If you want to support what we do here at The Whatnauts, patreon.com/thewhatnauts is the best place to do that. You can support us for as little as $1 a month. You can get all kinds of exclusive content at the $3 tier. You can also get a shout out and thank you on all of our shows at the $5 tier. You can support us on Twitch by subscribing to our channel at twitch.tv/thewhatnauts, and we would love to have you all join us for our live streams and talk with us in the chat. And lastly, we have merch. If you want to grab yourself a shirt or a sweatshirt or a mug or something else, go to thewhatnauts.com/store to pick up some merch today. And now we are back. Big shout out to our Patreon supporters at the $5 tier and above. So thank you, Sam, so much.
Thanks,
who has
Sam.
been here in the chat and is responding to Melissa's Clifford movie and says, "Not the dog? No, not
there's
the
an
dog.
additional Clifford.
More than one Clifford? How dare they?"
You don't have to watch the movie, but just remember that it does exist.
Good stuff. Well, thank you, Sam. Let's see other cool things that we have done this week. We are chugging along on our reactions to Marvel's What If. We did What If T'Challa was Star-Lord this past week. And then I think coming up this next week is Fury's Big Day of some of the things of like what happened in that week as he was big week.
Maybe the question, because we don't know what the core what if question about this event is. Maybe it is what if it was a day instead of a week?
Maybe, who knows? But yeah, we're still doing that stuff. Coming up, we talked about it a bit this past week here on the Captain's Log, but Melissa and I are reading a book for the end of the month here on the review show called House of Leaves. It is the first time that we have actually covered a real life book, a real book on the review show, which we like to say is a book club style podcast. So it's going to be
This was an extreme choice. We picked like
it kind of was.
We went to the highest difficulty mode on book.
Yeah, we did, but I'm glad we did that because if we decide to do novels down the road, we can still just do like here's a Star Wars novel, here's a James Bond.
No sweat, easy.
Right? Yeah, that stuff is simple. So we were like, let's just go all out and buy the most like complicated. You have to like read footnotes and appendices and read the book upside down and backwards and this thing and all. Yeah, so there's all sorts.
That's not
of
exaggeration. You literally do have to read the book upside down and backwards.
Yeah. So wild stuff in that. That'll be at the end of the month. Be on the lookout for that. But yeah, let's get on to this question. Melissa, I'm borrowing this question from another podcast that I was listening to today. So someone wrote into their podcast with the question of if you could visit any movie set while it was being made, what movie set would you want to go visit?
Okay, I wasn't clear if this was like you're visiting the movie set like you're a kid who won a contest, or it's like you get to go into a movie and not interact with the characters or plot at all. You're just in the setting. You just exist as like a background extra.
Like, yeah, like maybe somehow you are now an extra in the film, or you're just like, you're standing right there behind Stanley Kubrick when the twins are right there and they're following the kid on the tricycle or stuff like that. Like, what movie set would you want to be at and go see?
Oh, I've never thought about this.
It's an interesting question, right?
Does it have to be a movie that actually got made? A movie that got to the point where it was being filmed on a set? Or can I pick like Superman Lives?
I'm okay with that. I think that would be a great choice just to see like, man, what was Nick Cage gonna be like as Superman?
Yeah.
That would be wild. That would be a good one.
Be in the recording booth to hear the lines that Chris Farley originally recorded when he was going to be Shrek.
Yeah. I don't think I knew that he was the original choice.
Yeah,
interesting.
I think he recorded a lot of the movie, like a major portion of the movie.
Okay.
While he was still alive. I don't recall when he died. Doesn't stick out in my brain. It's not like they announced it at school or anything. And he wasn't like a friend of the family. I know my parents didn't sit me down and tell me when Chris Farley died, so I don't remember. But they recorded a portion of the movie, and then he did die, and they shelved it, and they had to completely retool it when they brought on Mike Myers, his SNL alum buddy.
Wow. Did not know that. Shrek facts, ladies and gentlemen. Shrek facts. Sam has a good question. Does it have to be a physical set, Or can I say I wish I lived inside the storyboards of Infinity Train?
Ah,
If you want to do an animated thing, I would say be like in the studio as they're making it. So as they are discussing the ideas or working on the drawings and the
yeah.
artwork and stuff like that of like if you know you could be a fly on the wall as they were like, no, but what if she wants to go to video game camp, and so that's why she wants to get away and do all that stuff, or who knows what. um
Hmm.
that that's what I think it would be if it was more of an animated film.
Yeah. I want to be there when the people who made The Lion King had those lions brought into the office and drew them. What
Yeah,
was that
that'd be
day
wild.
like?
That'd be an interesting thing. I've done like figure drawing and stuff like that. So
Yeah. How do you draw
I've
an
worked with
animal?
live models in that sense, but to have like a live lion there, like, is like, how far away are you? What was the atmosphere like? Were you nervous? Was there a lion tamer there with a big whip to like keep them
You'll
still
whip a
or
lion.
sitting there? Is the thing just like walking around and you have to be like, no, can you go back and sit there? No, all right, whatever. Uh,
What if you were an animorph? And I don't know the deal with animorphs. I don't know a single thing about animorphs except for that there was a boy who became a hawk and then he stayed as a hawk too long and he got stuck as a hawk because inexplicably so many podcasts reference that one moment in young adult literature history. I don't
Animorphs
know
are
if you were
wild,
supposed to
man.
keep it secret that you're an animorph, but if you couldn't, if you were allowed to tell others, you would make a killing as like a multiple life model. It's like you can see me as human, and then do you
Beast Boy.
also want to draw
Yeah.
a cobra? Huh?
Beast Boy from Teen Titans would make a
Right.
killing.
Oh my god. Right. If you need to do anything, you just invite Beast Boy to the Walt Disney Animation Studios.
Yep.
He posed for
Indeed.
Kuzco. He posed for Brother Bear. All of them.
Yeah. Brother Bear, what a callback, man. I think
What
for
if a
me,
bear was also a brother? Imagine.
Oh, you didn't see those mountains there, eh? I love those moose in that movie. How could you? The mountain just popped out of nowhere, eh? Uh, I think for me, I would love to be on the set of either like Infinity War and Endgame, especially
Yeah.
like in this scene when all of those characters are assembling or like running down the big field to do all of that stuff. Just to see like all of those characters there on set, I think would be wild. That'd be really, really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Let's
You want to
see.
see Mark Ruffalo covered in dots.
Right? Yeah. I would love to see all that green screen. Man, it would be great. No, like there's stuff like that. There's stuff like Star Wars. I would love to be on the
Ooh,
set
yeah.
of and just see, because like that would like George Lucas making that, he was relatively unheard of. Like he had made, I think, the one movie before that. I think
American Graffiti.
that or yeah, and then he did his
THX
1133. Yeah, like he hadn't
yeah.
done much. And so he makes this thing, and I know a lot of people at the time just like didn't understand like what he was trying to do. Like, okay, space wizard samurai people, what the fuck is going on? I don't know. And it spawned a whole like nerd culture basically.
This is true. Like you could go to a set steeped in lore. I've realized the
Yeah.
perfect answer to this question. I want to be on the set to Babe Pig in the City.
Okay. Why Babe Pig in the City?
Just Google the set for Babe Pig in the City. Have you seen that movie? You know that it's like this, like
It's
the
been,
city is like.
Look, I'm 30 years old. It's almost been 3 decades since I've seen that movie, it feels like.
it's like all these cities compiled on top of each other. Like he goes to just this monolithic accumulated city that has like the Empire State Building and the Jesus statue from Rio. And it's Christ the Redeemer. That's his proper name. I remembered it. And the Sydney Opera House and Big Ben.
It's like San Francisco.
Like it's all city layered on top of each other. And it was a huge set. I think it was like one of the biggest sets ever built. Like to be in that physical space. And then also there's a pig.
Yeah. Oh man. Babe Pig in the City. I never remember that actor's name, and I always call him Babe
James
Dude.
Cromwell.
Babe Dude. Hey, look, it's Babe Dude. He's back. He's still here.
Well, he doesn't know your name either, so I guess it's fair.
I mean, no one knows my name. I'm a nobody. But he's a phenomenal actor.
A real treasure.
Remember, like a month ago or so, we were talking about like what are the like actors, like if you could make a TV show or a movie or stuff like that, like what actors you would use that are like maybe not bigger movie stars and stuff like that, but there's been a number of things that I've watched recently that I've been like, oh yeah, I forgot about that guy. I love his stuff. Like whatever I see him in, I love him in. Yeah, and then I just like I never know your actual name, but every time you show up in something, you're phenomenal.
James Cromwell.
James Cromwell. Yeah, and then his name is like
I don't know how one
Harold.
croms, but he does it well.
Yeah, and then Harold's from Lost. He was Walt's father.
Harold Perrineau, yeah.
Yes, he's great. He's in everything.
He's very good.
Phenomenal. He's so good. And of course, he's in The Matrix Reloaded. And I was like, I forgot you're in this. Oh my God, you're so good in this. This is wonderful. Yeah. I don't know what else. I feel like I would love to be on the set of like Rear Window.
Oh,
that would be kind of interesting, or some like Alfred Hitchcock movie, right? Because he has so many that would be like it'd be great to be on that set, like on the set of Psycho or Vertical or North by Northwest. Like there's so much stuff that's just like. Did I say Vertical?
That's his movie about skateboarding.
It's the like, you know how they have transmorphers and stuff. It's like the Vertical by Alfred Hitchdick.
Right.
It's not Vertigo, it's Vertical.
He's named after a different Will Smith movie, so his name's Alfred Hitchcock. Hancock. I screwed it up. I went for the stars. Hancock. Like anyone remembers that movie anyway. I got the title mostly right. That's more than most of you can do.
Oh, that was great. That was great. Just a series of not saying the right thing.
We gotta get some mockbusters for classic movies nobody could mistake. Like we should get Vertical. We should get Crazy Hotel instead of Psycho.
Yeah.
The 11 Commandments. Watch it every Easter. It's a pretty good life.
There is a song that Biggie did that is called the 10 Crack Commandments. It's about the 10 commandments when it comes to selling crack. So There you go. There is that.
Mhm.
Oh man. What else? What other sets would you want to be on?
Now let's talk about you're within the setting of a movie. Like you just
Okay.
walk in and you just visit the location with the diegetic location within a movie. Like for an hour.
Not
You're
necessarily
just back
on
there.
the movie. You're just in the
No,
setting.
you're just in Hill Valley. You never see Marty McFly or Doc Brown. You're just in the town square.
Okay. I gotcha. I would want to. Trying to think, what would be a good place?
Because I have my clear answer.
I feel like Hogwarts would be a good place, or like
Now
Diagon Alley.
Okay, because I was going to ask, if you're going to Hogwarts, are you a professor? Because nobody is 30 at Hogwarts. You are 17 or you're 45. Nobody's in between those ages.
That is true. Yeah. I guess that kind of makes sense because, right, they go through school, so you have all the younger kids. They graduate and then immediately like go take on jobs and stuff like that. And when they are retired or stuff, they then come back to teach and stuff like that. I don't know. Makes sense. But no, yeah.
Maybe
some like fun like wizarding place.
Hagrid might be in his 30s. He feels older. He's so tall, it makes him feel older. I'd have to double check my math on that. But yeah, it's cool to be in a wizard place.
I'm not even a huge big fan of Harry Potter. I just think it'd be neat to like go experience.
They got good food. That's like one of the tastiest IPs you could be in.
One of them, yeah. I would want to be in like some kind of Miyazaki Studio Ghibli film.
Yeah.
If we're talking food, like I would want to be at some party where there's just a giant table of just food and it is stacked high with food. That would be amazing. To just like be sitting there with some like food in the back around there. But where else would I want to be?
Kyle, what do you think my answer is?
I think your answer is something Gremlins 2. You want to be in that mall.
That's it. Yep. I want to be in Cliff Towers from Gremlins 2. You nailed it. I knew you could.
There you go. Trying to think what else I would like, what sets I would want to go see. I think it'd be interesting to like be in Tron, be in that and see what that is.
Yeah.
Like.
You got to go for Tron Legacy though. You got to be in Michael Sheen's club.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Man, I don't know. What's a place that had a
Are there movies that you like don't particularly care for, but you would walk around in? Like, I don't want to necessarily interact with any of the plot elements of Twilight, but the town they live in seems nice to visit for a weekend.
I mean, that's kind of what I'm trying to think of like what seemed like they had a good, like, pleasant town. Or
right, just go to a vacation spot, quick road trip over to Forks, a real town. That one's real.
Yeah. I think you had a good one with Back to the Future. Like, just like, what would it be like to be on in that little like town square that they had there? That'd be fun. I don't know. Well, heading back to more of my like comic book stuff, I would love to like see Metropolis. I'd love to see Gotham. I'd love to see the Fortress of Solitude or the Batcave or stuff like, or the Daily Planet. Like go see
Which
that stuff.
Batcave? Who's Batcave?
I mean, my Batcave has always been the one from the cartoons. That's the one that
Yeah.
I like typically think of.
You're allowed. You can be an animated man. You can be a Lego.
Yeah. I think it'd also be kind of fun to go see the Batman's 60s the 60s one. I forget when that was, 68, 69, something.
I think it's
like
66. But you'd have to like adjust your body to the canted angles. You'd be crooked all the time. What if you got dizzy?
I just think it'd be fun to like slide down the bat pole and then just like have everything in there be like extra large. You'd be like, that whole thing is a phone? Good God, Batman. Like,
are there movies that you don't want to go to? I mean, besides, not counting things like, of course, you don't want to go to Snowpiercer or something like that. That just like aesthetically don't jive with you. Because I don't want to set foot into Dick Tracy.
Later, that I would not want to be there.
There's like an obvious threat there. I'm talking about, like, there's no major threat in Dick Tracy. Sure, there's gangsters. But I feel like to the average civilian, you're not under that much of a threat. But I don't want to go there because, like, it just feels grody to me.
Watchmen. I wouldn't want to live in there.
Yeah, I don't think there's any part of Watchmen that seems appealing to be in.
Not really.
All you have to eat is can of beans. Not a tasty IP, Watchmen. I went to Mars and then there was only Mars to eat.
Yeah, what's that? Really weird. He's one of the Monty Python guys that went on to make movies. He has that weird movie.
Oh, Brazil?
Yes, that one. I think that could go either way. Because that could either be this kind of like wacky, like that whole thing is incredibly inventive. Right? Yeah. That whole thing.
But have you seen Brazil? Also,
that's a weird movie.
Okay, I've always been intrigued by it, but it's always seemed too sad. I've thought about giving you a set of review show pitches that are movies that seem too sad for me to watch on my own. But I feel like if I knew you were also watching them and then we had to talk about them, that I would feel better.
I'd be happy to talk about Brazil. It's such an interesting movie, but it's been a while since I've seen it. I think I watched it back when I was living in Texas, so like 6-7 years ago. So it's been a while.
That's the closest to Brazil you've ever gotten.
Yeah. So I don't remember it exactly, but I watched it because I was like, I want to watch a bunch of like cyberpunk movies, and that is technically a cyberpunk movie, but it's one of those movies that it's so weird. It's just a weird movie. So it can go either way. I think like it'd be really neat to just be on set and be like, look at the creativity that went into this. But the sets that were in that are like grimy and dirty and cramped and all of this. So it's just like, I don't know if I would like actually want to be there. You know where else I wouldn't want to be? In Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. That place is weird. No, thank you.
Also, a place with no 30-year-olds.
Sure.
Maybe we'd be safe.
Was that what you took away from that movie, Melissa? There's no 30-year-olds?
No, just now that you've mentioned it, I think about this a lot, how there's an entertainment for adults and there's entertainment for young adults that has adults in it. But like I mentioned, nobody's 30 in Harry Potter. Those kids go to the chocolate factory. They bring their like parents or grandparents. Willy Wonka, he may be ageless, but he's probably like 47. Oompa Loompas, I don't know, not applicable. Nobody's
They seemed
our
like they
age.
were in their 50s, at least.
Right. What if we went there, could we win? Just by the benefit of being 30 years old.
Get out of my way,
and
kid.
not, no, we're not going to shove him anywhere. But just like, sir, I've brought a resume. These kids don't have a resume.
I have self-control, sir.
Right. I'll only eat what you tell me to eat.
Oh, man.
This is what I want to do. I want to go into movies that have no 30-year-olds. I'll be the first 30-year-old in the narrative. I'll find out what it's like.
Okay. Oh, man. That's a good one. Good one. I don't know. Where else would I not want to be? It would be a bad place to be.
You don't want to be on the lighthouse
movie.
Right.
2012.
Yeah. You don't want to be there.
Tomorrow.
I might take being in Godzilla, the New York City Godzilla. I don't know what I'd be doing in Tokyo, but I'd be in the New York City.
I was going to say, I feel like you would have been in the 1999 like American
That's the New York City one. I don't know where the new one with Bryan Cranston is. I don't have a location for that one. I'm talking about the Matthew Broderick Godzilla. Like, if I knew I was just visiting, like if I just quantum leapt into that world and I knew like I didn't really have any stakes, I'd kind of want to be on like the fringes of that community. Just like, yeah, there's a disaster, but it's such a baffling, weird disaster that everybody's just like, get a load of this.
That's Sharknado. Just like,
right. Oh, I'd love to be in a Sharknado. Right.
Interesting. Good stuff. This was fun to
This is a fun conversation.
Movie sets we would love to be on or not be on.
Right. Don't take me to Dick Tracy.
Yeah. I went back to the Hancock and Alfred Hitchcock. So you were like, don't take me to Dick Tracy, and I was like, it has to be something else. Like, don't take me to Wiener Tracy or something like that.
Wiener Tracy.
Melissa, this was a good one. I had fun.
Yeah,
this was
fun.
I think we should wrap things up there, though. You do have a good question that maybe we can use for next week. Yeah. Is there something you have to do every summer, or it's not summer? We might be talking about that one next week. But I think that is about it for us here this week. So, Melissa, where can the people find you on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Wilkywit. That's WILKYWIT. And listen to my other podcast, Saturday Morning Obscurities, where me and my brother Jams talk about weird old kids shows you feel like only you remember.
Oh, yeah. If you guys want to stay up to date with me, I'm at Yo Kyle Springer on Twitter. If you guys want to follow all of the stuff that we do here at the Whatnauts, we are at the Whatnauts on Twitter. So go like, share, subscribe. You guys know the deal with all of that. But that's it. That's number 157 of the Captain's Log. So we will see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.